What I'd like to have right now is for all you fat, sweaty, inner city sweat hogs, keep the noise down while I take off my robe and show the ladies what a real man looks like. Now hit my music. Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Journey to the Darkside.
What the fuck was that?
Oh, that was just our intro, man. Don't worry about it. It's cool. Journey to
Dude.
What?
That was disgusting.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I am just going to go ahead and we're going to roll right through this. And
Joe, you want to go out for some burgers?
I don't think I'll stand.
There's no way you guys have the appetite.
I don't think I can
There's no way.
That was disgusting.
So anyway,
Fucking mustache has got to go.
oh dude, it's taking over. I'm becoming more mustache than man right now.
I'm becoming more fucking creepy than anything.
Oh my god.
So anyways, Joey, welcome back to the show.
Weirdo.
Can't even pull it off. Anyways, welcome back to another edition of Journey Through the Dark Side. I'm Mr.
Have you ever
Mustache.
manscaped before?
Dude, just between us and maybe them at home, I do have the stash now over my dick. It's great. It's just like this. Imagine this, and imagine my pecker just kind of hanging out. Well, if I'm being realistic,
Right.
like this. Just one of these little things right here. But still,
Yeah.
but dude, the stash.
I've seen it.
It's the stash. You seen the stash?
I've seen it.
Oh. Oh. So anyways, welcome back to another edition. And
We're getting a little TV 14 here.
it's getting a little blue. It's getting a little blue right
Don't
now.
work blue.
Go ahead.
Simon Terrell.
I'm Joey Simpson.
And yes, what are we doing today? What is going on today?
This is the 1-year anniversary of the Undertaker's debut in the WWF. Lady Pumped.
I can't wait.
1 year later.
This is it.
Now,
Made it.
before I read my stats, like,
yes.
where do you think he's going to be 1 year in?
You know, honestly, it's.
I mean, we know, but
but even as a kid, this felt right. Like, I didn't like it. I was a Hogan fan, Hulkamaniac all the way. Wanted Hogan to take this guy down, but it wasn't like a shock that Taker has worked his way up. Like, I bought it. Like, there was no way he couldn't have been. You know, it's like you keep putting motherfuckers in body bags and knocking people out of the way. It's like you gotta get a title shot eventually. In fact, if anything, I'd be surprised more that he didn't get an IC title match. I know real life why he wouldn't. I'm just saying, kayfabe, he jumps that shit. He's, you know,
yeah.
Here for the title, here for the gold. Like, I ain't playing around with that.
I mean, I don't know if he's going to win or not.
I mean, I think Hogan may have enough juice. We'll find out. We'll get into it. We'll see what happens.
But this is the Survivor Series 1991. It was main evented by a 3-on-3 Survivor Series match featuring the Legion of Doom and the Big Boss Man versus IRS and the Natural Disasters.
Jesus Christ.
And the Big Boss Man and LOD won in 15-21. But we're not here to talk
This
about
is
that.
an audible sigh.
We're not here to talk about that because we're here to talk about the real main event.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyways, so November 27th, 1991, Detroit, Michigan, Joe Louis Arena. In front of...
But
17,500.
This motherfucker did his
oh,
research.
this guy. I wasn't even gonna be close to
Full
that.
house.
I was gonna lowball it anyway. So
What was you going to say? Like
I honestly gonna say about 13,000. What I was gonna say, yeah.
17.5.
17.5. Good job.
You know, back in the day when they had legit sellouts. But, you know, the real main event was Hulk Hogan versus The Undertaker
Definitely a featured bout for sure.
for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even going to give away. I'm going to say the match went 12 minutes and 45 seconds. Who won?
We'll surprise you guys with that.
Who won?
I will say
No
this.
spoilers on this show.
Yeah, no doubt. We don't do that. Come on.
We wait till the end.
Right.
I will say, and I get why. I get the reason. You know, you want to send people home happy. Clearly, the results of the match wasn't going to do so.
I mean,
As a kid, though, I was, even then, like, I took wrestling too seriously, but I took that world title seriously, and I just felt like it should never. Now, unbeknownst to me at that time, I guess a lot of house shows, this was a standard practice, that the world title would just be, because I remember when Brett and Sean did their DVD, they were talking about how a lot of their tag matches would actually end the shows, while Hogan was doing mid-card whatever, just to get out of there and do whatever, but,
yeah.
and I get that, whatever, I'm all, you know, but from a kayfabe perspective, it's like, dude, to me, it kind of devalues the world title a little bit when you're, especially then when the main event is. When it originally was supposed to be Jake the Snake and Sid Vicious, or Sid Justice, sorry, on either side, and that kind of gets washed out for different reasons. But it's like even then, it's like no, that's not your main event. Could you not reshuffle a little bit? But it's like no, they went with it. And I don't know, I just remember as a kid kind of feeling like, because after this match is over, I really don't care about the rest of the card. Like even as a kid, it's real to me, and I'm kind of like
when I watched it, I was kind of disappointed and just kind of.
The fact that
mopey and sad.
Yeah, because I mean the fact that what happens. No spoilers. But then you're literally just kind of like, well, fuck. Now we got 2 more matches, and these matches I can care less about. And I mean, there's good in them. Yeah. We do get more. Sean and Marty kind of tussling in this next one. But go ahead. No, but other than that, it's just
for me, it goes from Survivor Series 1990. Every match being really, 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 really good. Mm-hmm. Like. That standard.
Yeah, the format. Love that format.
Mm-hmm. To this one, where you got some matches, the World Heavyweight Championship match in the middle of the show.
Yeah. And
then 2
would you not put the Flair opening match on top?
Yeah,
would that not be your main event? Like, what the fuck? I don't know.
It was definitely formatted poorly. I feel like it was just Vince or Brother Pritchard back there saying, hey, it's Survivor Series. These matches still have to...
Exactly. I'll be honest with you.
1 year later, it's like they don't mean shit.
No. I get it. I've heard even Bruce Pritchard on his podcast said that I get, they hate the Survivor Series format because you're basically booking the same type of matches every year, and I get that.
But it's awesome.
But I love it. From this guy, and not even just as a kid, I mean just now, because this is the only time of year you do that. You got 12 or 11 other fucking pay-per-views that are all just jumbled up random bullshit. It's good to have this awesome Survivor Series match or pay-per-view. Go ahead, sorry.
As a today still PlayStation 4, WWE 2K19, soon to be 20 player, my favorite matches are the 6 or 8 man elimination tags.
Same here. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I get the biggest bang for my buck with those matches.
Every time I get if I lose the Royal Rumble, then I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna fight that guy and his allies in an elimination match. That's how I settle it. I mean, as a kid, they were my favorite.
Survivor Series elimination tags are the shit.
And see, as a kid, I was very realistic as a kid. Even I knew I would get my ass handed to me. Because, I mean, it was real to me back then, too. So I was like, fuck. Now I'm just getting winded and be gassed out early and couldn't perform. But anyways, and I don't just mean my sex life, I mean in the match. Anyways, but no, I always felt like, I could always hide out. You got a good team, you don't have to wrestle at all. You just let them do it for you. And I always felt like I would actually probably win. 1 time, or maybe 2 if I was lucky in the Rumble. Those are the 2 matches I could win because, god damn it, it's real and I am smart enough to outwit everybody else. But unfortunately, Vince is like, I don't want to do that. And this is the first year we get a break, and we never go back to the all format. We go back to a lot, but we never get a solid, just every match elimination, which is unfortunate in my opinion, because I'm okay with the world champion not being defended on this pay-per-view because it's part of this. It's a special thing, So,
so back to what we're saying.
Yes,
what we're seeing right now, technically, is the main event.
Yes, I mean, if you. I guess technically it's not. Technically the shitty sick match. But yeah, it's the featured bout, and to me, yes, this is the main event.
Yeah, so Hogan and Undertaker.
So
what the fuck? Let's...
Well, before we get started, I want our almanac to do some work.
I was going to say, let's let Joey kick this off.
But before we get to this match, though...
Before we get to this match... What leads up to it? Obviously, by this point, Ric Flair has made it to the WWF. He's going around saying he's the real world's champion. Mm-hmm. Hulk Hogan saying, no, I'm the World Wrestling Federation champion. I'm the top guy. Flair challenging him. Hogan.
Let us do our thing. You're fine. Yeah. Don't get distracted by us. We're going to goof off.
Not really responding.
We're immature.
You're
the adult here.
Okay, so Flair goading Hogan into a challenge, and Hogan not really meeting that challenge, not making any sort of return. And then, so, of course, Paul Bearer has them all on the funeral parlor. Flair Shows up to talk smack, and then out of nowhere,
One of the better interview shows.
Yeah.
at the
Oh yeah,
time.
it was pretty decent.
My all-time favorite.
Undertaker shows up out of nowhere, cheap shots Hogan. I think they even used the chair on Hogan.
Yeah.
Rips the crucifix off.
No, he used the urn.
The urn, yeah.
And there's actually a dent in the side of it.
Yeah, they bring that up later.
I will say this real quick, from a funny, real, or kayfabe perspective. He's expecting him to pop out the casket. He even goes to the casket, he's just like, I know he's in there, but then when Flair comes out, he's just like, I'll turn my back to this thing and worry about Flair. And then sure enough, he pops out. I'm like, what if Flair wasn't there? Like, what was Taker's plan exactly? Like, if he would just push the whole thing over and he's like, fuck! That didn't go well. Luckily, Flair was there. All right, sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, that's kind of the backstory of bringing this up to the Gravest Challenge.
The Gravest
Now,
Challenge.
before we get to the Gravest Challenge, though, I want you to. I was actually going to hit you up for one more thing. I'm sorry you jumped on the other one.
Sorry,
Before this,
sorry you got to do this on camera.
Exactly. Yes, I will dress you down and make you. Before this, though, there's another feud that Taker's kind of involved in the summer of '91. Now he wasn't at the SummerSlam. We didn't do a SummerSlam thing.
And we'll
Can you give us a little bit? You don't have to go through the whole thing. But get a taste of that.
Basically, Ultimate Warrior was going to start feuding with The Undertaker, and Ultimate Warrior was enlisting in the help of Jake Roberts to help
Conquer that fear.
Bring him to the dark side.
Yes.
That's where we're at now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We've already crossed over, so.
Yeah, Warrior was going to have Jake bring him to the dark side so he could fight Undertaker. Obviously, Undertaker was not at SummerSlam. Reason being, Ultimate Warrior didn't want to really go through with the whole deal. Held Vince up for some money. Ultimate Warrior did the match at SummerSlam and then was ceremoniously fired immediately.
And we won't really get a chance to talk
about money.
Oh, he got his money. For
No,
sure.
yeah.
Now, we won't get a chance to talk about this again, so I do want to delve in that was probably my favorite angle from that era. And so disappointed it didn't pay off because we got 3 really awesome vignettes of Warrior doing these different challenges. I remember one of them he was like buried up to his neck, and Jake was taunting him. I think one of them he was put in the casket, stuck. But then the final one, that's my favorite because it's the snake pit. He has to walk through, and it's in the box or whatever it was inside the room, and he goes to it.
And there's all these snakes, and he just starts kicking the shit out of all these snakes.
Well, Jake even told him, like, just, shuffle. You don't have to, once you bring them step down, you're going to step on them. They will get you. And he just goes through, and they all are, attacking him.
He starts kicking the shit out of them, throwing them, and they're biting.
But then he opens up the box. King Cobra pops out, strikes Warrior as a kid. I'm like, holy shit. Like, I don't care how awesome and the power of the Warriors are flowing through his veins.
That's snake
the King fucking Cobra bites him. He goes down.
You're done.
And then you realize who's behind it. Because even though Jake is like, ha laughing, it was Taker. And Taker walks in, and I'm just like, holy shit.
Motherfucker.
And unfortunately, like you said, they kind of, in fact, at SummerSlam, they don't even bring that up.
Bro.
It was a swerve, bro, and it was fucking awesome. But at SummerSlam, because of the whole, backstage tomfoolery that was going on, they don't even bring this up. And they quickly drop it in favor of the Savage Taker crashing, Jake and Taker crashing Savage and Elizabeth's wedding.
There you go.
And they got the snake in there. And so, which is also an awesome fucking angle. Like, I just remember loving that too. I just love that Taker at this point is just willing to fuck shit up. Like, he's putting fuckers in body bags. Him and Jake are coming up with these insane schemes. Like, they try to kill 2 different people, pretty much. I mean, because there's no idea. That snake could have been Elizabeth when it popped out there. You don't know.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, him and Flair, like, a little side action. Like, he's boys with Jake, but then on the side, he's just like, hey, Flair, you want to fuck with Hogan too? Like, I'm getting a title shot. Help me out. Come on the funeral parlor, help me out. And then boom, we get that. So yes, that was the build up to the Gravest Challenge. You got any other thing to add to the build up?
That's about it. Yeah, Hogan. I mean.
So go ahead, walk us through the match. Give us a bit of some highlights, what you liked, what you didn't like. Just give us your take, your analysis.
Okay, so Smark Me. Is this the Smark keyboard?
Wait, we do this first. Well, technically.
Said Undertaker versus Hogan. This is going to be a shit show.
So you're talking from today, like you today.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Because I saw this match, but 20.
Oh,
math.
Jesus Christ, 30
20,
now?
30,
It's
30,
29. There
20,
it is.
There you go. 29
Thank you,
years
Joey.
ago. Probably loved it.
Oh yeah, I definitely.
But adult me is like Undertaker Hogan.
It was a shit show.
I was surprised by how well it was. It still wasn't, it's not a 200-star Tokyo Dome match. But it's still like, for what it was really good. And I'm kind of giving my final analysis.
Oh, no, you're fine.
I apologize,
good.
but it was really good back and forth. You got two big guys, but again, you have Hogan, who at this time wasn't the greatest worker, but he was one of the greatest sellers.
One of the best storytellers too. I mean, he didn't have to be a good worker because he was working. I mean, to me, he is working there.
But you've got Mean Mark, aka the Undertaker, who was a great worker, and Undertaker wasn't so much on the selling, but
zero selling.
But still, that's part of it.
It's hard for me to explain this because I'm split between the two worlds, the kayfabe world and the real world.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard for me to really. But it was a great back and forth match. The Undertaker at 6'11", 328 pounds, agile as fuck, is fast, could move, and not a lot of people realize that Hogan was 6'9".
Yeah, no, he's just as big. I mean, big dude.
Yeah,
So.
I mean they were very over 300 pounds himself. So but Undertaker still made himself look bigger and badder.
Oh, of course.
I don't want to give away a bunch of shit because these two still have to give their analysis as well. But I think the finish of the match was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Hadn't really gone anywhere.
Yeah. yeah.
Speaking of Vince, never mind.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that in a minute. But the match itself was fine. Paul Bearer had his interference. And Brandon.
I was going to say, I was waiting for it.
Bobby Heenan's monitor went out twice.
I just love that.
That's bullshit. How can he properly commentate a match?
Heenan's the fucking man. So hard. Heenan's the man anyway. But god damn it, when he says that, he's like, what happened? My monitor went out. Just oh my god.
Gorilla didn't believe it.
Girls sitting right there now.
So, what do you think? Who's next? Who's next here?
Well, without the analysis, just doing the match, some highlights I liked was we pointed earlier, the dent in the urn. I liked that whole bit. I thought that was good.
They played that up hardcore.
Honestly, the match itself was good for what it was.
The commentators kind of owned this match more than the wrestlers did.
Yeah, I agree. I'll get that, absolutely. For me, I like seeing, and this is no different than any match Hogan's ever had against another giant or, monster, but, it is Taker, a lot of it, every now and then Hogan gets a little offense, but it's right back to Taker.
Undertaker fights a giant.
Yeah, it was awkward.
But the thing, I didn't think it was too bad. I really did I liked the match itself. I thought, to me, the only glaring downside was when he did that smother hold, where he held him by the... And then the mouth, and then he holds it for 2 fucking minutes, and I'm like, Jesus Christ! Now it's not right his fault. I'm sure Hogan's just like, I'm gonna take a break. We've been doing a lot. We're staying down here, and I mean, so I get that, but I'm just saying from today. I don't know how I felt about back then. I can't remember that one, but I was just like, God damn! Can we not move to the next move? But no, he throw an armbar. God damn, change it up. Do it. No, smother him. And then even girls
it wasn't a choke.
Yeah, but even girls you gotta make sure that he's not covering everything up because you can't smother a pump. I'm like, then what the fuck's he doing? Is he just holding the mouth or the nose? Because it couldn't be effective if you didn't smother him. So I don't know. Anyways,
he was getting the carotid artery.
Well, I think with the whole face palm thing, I think it's more his fingers digging in and creating
kind of a claw.
Was it the claw?
Kind of the claw more.
Yeah.
Ooh, watch yourself! It's the claw. Ooh, the claw's coming at you. Ooh, you're scared of the claw.
so much as smothering
Yeah.
to keep him from breathing.
There you go. See? Yeah, there we go.
There it is. I'm not going to
Explained.
fully buy it, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
My William Regal explanation.
There it is. So before we get to the finish, any highlights stick out for you in this match, really?
Nothing really sticks out other than, I mean, it seemed awkward. I mean,
Okay.
it was their first time meeting.
Bobby Heenan's monitor went out twice, Joey.
That's another thing too.
God damn it! Like that,
How can he properly?
you can't.
Vince, come on, buddy. You should be on this shit right now. I mean,
But yeah, it just
faulty monitors.
It seemed awkward. Two big man type styles clashing. I think a lot of the rest holds, the choke holds, a lot of that was them just trying to figure out what to do next.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I'm sure Taker was a little worried. Wrestling Hogan, didn't want to hurt him, didn't want to
Well,
screw
yeah.
things up.
Yeah.
You know, him being Hogan, and
his highest profile match to date right now. So
Yeah.
you know, so
1 year into his WWF career.
which is
Exactly,
fucking
yeah.
phenomenal.
he goes from being a young, inexperienced rookie to working with Hogan.
So we get to the finish, and now I'm gonna use the term overbooked just because that's the smarky fucking term. I didn't know what overbooked was when I was a kid. I just thought this was fucking crazy. Flair comes out. Now Bobby Heenan's right. Flair does not do shit to Hogan, and Hogan attacks him from behind.
Yeah, he
takes
hits the
him
shit
down.
out of him.
So
Heenan's
they
right.
get in the ring. He ends up getting tripped up by Paul Bearer twice. It looks like they did it
twice.
once,
Yeah, yeah.
and it looks like that's probably
The leg drop was not happening.
No.
So second time, and then as that
You know that
happens,
would've killed him.
Oh, exactly, yes. As that happens, he's
That's
fucking with that. Turns around and right into a tombstone, but not just a tombstone on a chair.
Yeah.
Can we talk about this for a
On
second?
a steel chair.
Well,
I want to talk about this for a second because this
Oh.
pisses me off right now.
Oh.
it pisses me off
For two
because-
reasons, actually. Can I do both reasons real quick? I know you know exactly what I'm talking about. The first reason is
He wants to steal your thunder.
I do. I really do. Because this has been irritating me forever. This is like him getting counted out last year. He keeps getting fucked for different reasons. Okay, so he doesn't even hit him with the. He protects him so well. Barely touches him. There's
Well,
this much.
okay,
No,
yeah.
that's fine. But as a kid, I'm thinking, God damn, like, how did Hogan get beat by that? But then Hogan claims years later that fucked his neck up, and I'm thinking, how? Is this what you're going to talk about?
That's what we're talking about, yep.
Hogan claims that this tombstone fucked his neck up. Now, granted, now we know Hogan's full of shit on a lot of things, and he lies, and every time he writes in his book, there's like 5 people going, that's not even remotely close to that. Wasn't he going to be like the bass player from Metallica at one point? So there you go.
Yes, yeah.
So, anyways,
And
now we know.
They're like, we met him once.
Yeah. So we know now he's full of shit, but it's like, he had said that for years, and it's like, dude, what a dick.
What the truth of it is, no, it wasn't really a long-term injury. What happened was that night he did have a temporary stinger, but what happened was, see, whenever he got put up in the position, his neck was kind of resting in between Undertaker's knees.
Oh, is that what it was? So it wasn't
Normally-
the impact of the...
No, it was his neck got jammed
Even
up.
though he does say...
He does
He bonked
say...
my head. He says, I bonked my head.
Right.
But whatever. Okay, but he... Okay, so
He,
you say...
he bonked his head between
Okay.
his knees.
Okay,
and
gotcha.
not,
the chair, like he claims, yeah.
Hit the
Yeah,
chair.
right off Taker's balls. Right?
Yeah.
oh, I'm sure, mouthful of cock.
Oh, easily.
But yeah,
Then years later, take
By the way-
now you're under...
By the way, first time we see the tombstone done, legs to the side.
Yeah. I didn't know if that's just a Hogan thing because it was just
It
kind
wasn't the full
Yeah.
69 position.
I think it just may have been how he was holding him.
Yeah.
Maybe Hogan wasn't quite.
Which may have
moving around
contributed
as
to
well.
that, yeah.
It could have. I mean,
Once again, though, 350-something pounds you said Hogan was, so I mean, that may be
Not 357 pounds.
50-something, but whatever.
303 pounds.
300 pounds. Well, so yeah, 300 pounds, I mean, pretty big guy compared to guys he's been picking up, so it makes sense, I guess. He has to kind of do an awkward
Nah, he was 357. Let's just go with that.
457. He's big. The legend of Hulkamania is bigger than his weight ever will be.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. But no, that's one thing I pointed out was the
Look at my smarky keyboard.
the side leg tombstone rather
Yeah.
than the
So anyways, he hits him. Now I want to ask you guys both this. I talked to you before we started filming.
Did we?
Did you guys notice the Hulkamaniac, the super Hulkamaniac in the
Yes.
crowd,
Yes.
directly behind it? Dude, when he gets that
Pumping the
tombstone,
crowd up.
he's constantly doing this, but then when he gets that tombstone and Taker wins,
Oh man, his heart is shattered.
he's dabbing his eyes
Yep.
at one point, and I'm like, holy shit! Like even I was a kid, and I went out like, well, shit, he'll get back up at some
And that
point.
guy's
and win.
sitting there crying, thinking, "Oh,
Yes.
2 more matches."
Yes, he
I
was.
can
That's what it was this morning. William Hogan's just like, fuck, we got 2 more shock matches to go. Fuck. IRS is in the main event. Fuck. Oh, god damn it. Tug Job's gonna be headlining. Fuck. Anyways.
So that brings me up to a good
Oh, it's
question.
so fucking hilarious though. I laughed so much during that. Heenan's commentary and that fan, to me, would elevate this match an extra star grade for
Okay.
me, just because it's just like, today's Daniel's laughing hard about that.
Well,
so.
it brings me to a question.
Yes, go ahead.
As far as what is a main event? Now, is it technically the last match on the show?
It's gonna be whoever you ask.
Because it's like
To me it is,
To
but
me, this was the main event.
yeah,
Those Survivor Series matches, even though it was part of the
It was,
Survivor
yeah.
Series pay-per-view,
Right.
Yeah.
were secondary. Like we got to have these matches.
the tagline was the greatest challenge. The poster was Hogan versus Taker.
Exactly.
The match that everybody wants to see.
They were almost dark matches.
Yeah, I
to an
agree.
extent.
I mean, I agree with you. And that's the thing. People will tell you that this is the main event, and to a certain extent, I will agree. I think it's just for me being a stickler and being the prick that lives in kayfabe world and doesn't want to leave. I will always be like, no, the headliner, the main event is the last show, and regardless if you guys want to sit there and be like, well, at this WrestleMania we're having 5 main events. No, you're not. You're having 1 main event. There's only one main
Rock
event.
Cena, when the title wasn't on the line, Rock Cena, was that a main event?
Yeah, right.
Or
was
was the title match the main
it
event?
the last match?
It was.
Yeah, it probably was. And I'm sure they built the whole thing around them probably. Twice in a lifetime.
No, I'm just saying,
I didn't watch them, but I'm sure.
Like, this is one of my first, I guess, rewatching in my first experience.
I get
with
you,
the match.
No, it's one of those
It
things like,
was main event,
yeah,
but wasn't on the
in
card.
the main event spot, yeah. It's one of those things where, like, it's subjective. And like I said, I won't feel as passionately about this as I will other kayfabe matters.
Because I'm going to say right now, this is 2 main events in a row, Taker's
yeah.
winning.
Technically it is. I mean, except from a technical standpoint, but I'm going to be the guy to the side of you going, I can put a little disclaimer up here like,
IRS.
yeah, IRS and Tug Job, so, Big Boss Man, serving a hard time, buddy. So anyways, but Joe, where do you fall on this main event thing? I mean, you kind of agree with that? It's the main event?
It's all subjective.
I understand
the
that.
main event will always be the big match they advertise.
Yeah.
But the one that's probably most important for the wrestlers is who goes on last.
Yeah.
They're the ones that will decide on
How you send the crowd home.
how you send the crowd
So
home.
those 6 guys that were in that in the main event,
LOD, Natural Disasters, Boss Man, and IRS, baby.
I think
are they looking at the poster going,
Where the fuck are we at?
yeah, what the fuck? Why is this? Why?
They are, because they're smart to the business. I would be, though. I'd be like, hey, Vince, come here, we gotta talk.
They probably
Where's my
didn't even.
poster?
Here's the thing: they probably didn't even know the match lineup till that
Yeah.
evening.
Okay.
No, I'm
And-
sure.
Now, if you were rebooking the show, like we're not changing finishes, we're not,
Same show, yeah.
would you put those 2, or at least one? Would you put the Hogan
Yeah, at the end.
Undertaker match at the
It
end?
was at the end.
You know what?
Regardless of where the Survivor Series matches
as
went.
hard as they were selling the following pay-per-view that evening,
Yeah, no
Um,
doubt.
as hard as they were selling it, I would have put Taker and Hogan on last.
Yeah.
I mean, I think now
Because
I'm
everybody.
a poser. I'm a current day poser. Is Survivor Series still a thing?
It is, but the matches, now they do it
In
where,
name alone?
yeah, because now they'll have, like, some matches. I think now it's, like,
One or two.
men's, women's, and tag team.
No,
I think
no,
last year
no.
they got rid of the tag team, so...
But your main
No, they did have it.
Oh, yeah, no, main event's always typically the title, yeah.
101 or something.
Yeah, Raw or Universal or what the fuck they call it now.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
this is what made Survivor Series 91 as opposed to 90 so much of a change.
Exactly.
It's like,
yeah. And why did it get the...
they almost completely just, it's like those 2, they were 2 3-on-3 matches.
Mhm.
It's like, oh fuck, it's Survivor Series, we still gotta do something.
Yeah.
Put them on at the beginning of the show.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying earlier, why not put Bret Hart, Piper, Flair, all those guys? I mean, if you're going to do it this way, if you gotta have, it's like, put them on. But then again, Flair won that one. I guess they want to send everybody home with a face victory. So, once again, it's just shitty 91 booking, I guess.
I know.
And there's nothing we can do. Yeah, I agree. I mean, if it's me, I would have been nope. Because to me, I was always a stickler for placement on the card shouldn't dictate. Like I know there's a reason for every match on the card. I get that.
Yeah.
But from a kid's perspective, you're thinking like, well, why are these guys opening the match? They're great. Or why is the IC title on the opening match? That's a title. That should be higher. And I realize now, no, you got to have someone get the crowd hot. I get that, but at the same time, it's just like from a kid's perspective, kayfabe, it's like fuck that, dude. You know.
In recent years, and even WrestleManias, we've seen title matches open the show.
World title matches, end it. So yeah, or open it. So yeah,
open the show.
So
I mean, and end it too. But it's just
But I'm gonna say open it. But it's just like
I mean, this is '91, like when things were still more traditional.
Yeah,
if
exactly. Yeah,
use that word, but like. When I typed up my notes, and I always type up the main event, I typed Hulk Hogan versus Undertaker.
Thinking, I mean, why wouldn't you?
Looked it up real quick and was like, technically no. So that's why I said our main event was the 3-on-3 Survivor Series match.
I'm curious what you guys up there think. Let us know in the comment section down below, like, to you. Now, we don't care what what everybody else is saying. Just in your opinion, what is the main event? Last match? Or the heavily featured, hyped up
whether
match.
you like it or not.
We're not going to jump on you too hard.
Because, the title match hasn't not always been the main event. But this match was a little bit of a gray area for me because it's like,
it is.
This was the main event.
Yeah.
And not only because, what is it Vince says, I got to send the fans home happy.
Yeah.
The ultimate babyface just lost. Got screwed.
Yeah.
And then there's still 2 more shit matches after that.
And I feel like if you would have sent them home...
And they weren't that good.
No. And I feel like you would have sent them home on that dark note. You may have sold a little bit more pay-per-views for the Susie and Texas because everybody been like, what the fuck? I don't know. I just kind of feel like the whole pay-per-view kind of ended. It went downhill from there and you're just kind of like...
That's what I'm saying. I feel like,
you didn't send them home happy either way.
The show, it's like, oh, well, it's the Survivor Series, so we got to have the Survivor Series matches. It's just going to be 3-on-3, but, it still counts.
So, like I said, I don't know. And like I said, there's a whole story behind that, too, because once again, it's supposed to be Sid Justice and Jake, but see, Jake was suspended for sicking the King Cobra on Randy Savage in the ropes. So, but then I'm like, but you wrote that.
The Masked Skyscraper could have...
Where's the Masked Skyscraper? He should have been in there, right then and there. Where'd he go? Where was he at?
I don't know, dude.
Oh, shit, no, he was... Yes! He was in the match before! The Beverly Brothers! Oh! Yes! Oh! Woo! Oh! Yes! The Masked Skyscraper has finally come to the WWF! Yes! Come on, Joey! Give me some love for the Masked Skyscraper! Oh, you know what? When he sees the video and sees how awesome the Masked Skyscraper was, next week he'll be up doing
Get your ass out of the camera.
Oh my god. You know what? We did send the people home happy. Masked Skyscraper made his debut. Guess what, people? That's all we got for tonight. That's it.
You didn't even get star ratings.
No star ratings. Fuck it. Just
3 stars. 3 stars.
It's a 1 for me.
1? Wow.
It's a 1.
Hogan Undertaker 1?
Hogan Undertaker was a 1. It was just it just didn't seem right. Even when I watched it when I was younger, watched it live actually.
And I want to say that
it just didn't seem right. It didn't seem like normal Hulk Hogan.
No pun intended. What sold it for me was Hogan selling after the match.
Yeah,
he did great.
I mean, he was down. All the officials around him, like they kept showing close up his face, and he's stone-eyed.
And just hearing him talk like, I can't move it, and you're just like, holy shit, like he's at a different level of realism.
The crowd shots of people like seriously concerned.
But you know what's great?
3 stars.
Heenan is still absolute monster.
Dude.
He's like, yes, Hawkman. I'm like, they know.
They talked about a football player who had just got legitimately paralyzed.
That
Hulk Hogan visited
that day.
Probably learned how to be paralyzed.
Yeah. Here's how you do it, brother.
It's the best acting he's done since Suburban Commando. Anyways.
0.01%. It'll take me 6 weeks to recharge. What am I going to do for 6 weeks?
Great sell job.
But no, you're right, though. And that really did add to... I'm going to say, though, I'm going to go 2 stars only because, for me... Man, that fucking smother job takes forever. And then just the weird looking tombstone. Like, I get it. We don't really want to crush his head. But, no, 20 more minutes. Anyway, so I'm going to say 2. So we'll average that down to just 2. But, yeah, that's the only downside for me. But the aftermath of this whole thing is this leads to a rematch 1 week later at this Tuesday in Texas, which
Yes.
is the proper main event this time around.
Yeah.
So, but we'll talk more about that next week.
Next week, baby.
So, any guys' final thoughts before we get out of here?
Great match. Terrible position on the card.
Yeah.
Survivor Series definitely went downhill from.
Let me ask
the
you
year
this,
before.
just from because we've been
Go
doing this
ahead.
whole time. Is this your favorite Taker match so far?
Probably.
Okay.
Probably, yeah.
Now, I know we didn't discuss the Survivor Series with us.
Definitely my favorite. I mean, no
But
spoilers.
then again, you kind of get this a low rating compared to the other ones.
Definitely
though, so-
no spoilers. Definitely
not-
my favorite in
I
91.
wasn't too thrilled. His Rumble performance, I thought, was the top.
Okay, fair enough.
The top one up to this point.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Rumble 2 as just an overall match. But don't get me wrong, he won the world title.
Let's keep this going.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you guys.
Go ahead, throw it out my way.
Especially for Joey. A year in, real quick, to this point,
Yes.
in November of 1991, Undertaker is officially the youngest WWF champion.
Yes.
At the age of 26.
Which will be broken later, and maybe we'll get there and
Yeah.
we'll talk about it. But anyways, too early, too late, not late, but was it too quick?
Was it rushed?
I think it was.
Was it rushed?
I think it was okay. It
mean,
worked. It worked.
I mean,
For what
you
it
just
was.
gave his title match a 1 star.
I did. I gave his title match a 1
Well, he gave the
star.
performance a star, but not the storyline.
The story
Right.
itself,
Yeah.
all is 3-4 stars. It's pretty good.
Okay.
And I think
Because I try to contribute. I try to add
as far as the
storyline in
story
with-
goes, it was appropriate.
Okay.
Totally fine.
I agree, because like I said, as a kid, I totally bought it. Like, I'll be honest with
Was
you.
ready?
1 year later,
Were you ready as a fan?
man, I ain't gonna lie.
'Cause you're a
I
Hulkamaniac.
took it kind of hard.
You-
I really did.
you were
I
one of those crying
I wasn't
fans.
doing this yet. Because once again, I kind of had a feeling he'd get back. I had faith. That one guy had no faith. That was his problem. But no, I bought it. And I'll tell you right now, it's funny to say because I always pick on the schmarks. But like as a kid, there are just certain guys I just didn't buy. And I'm gonna get the shit pounded on me on the comment section here. But like literally, like Bret Hart, I didn't buy him until like '94. So his first
Fair
title
enough.
run, I didn't buy it off. Like, dude,
Fair
fuck
enough.
that. And it wasn't until his Royal Rumble performance where I saw him fight with a busted up knee and win, I guess co-win, but still win. And I was like, okay, this guy's a fighter. Like, this guy has earned my respect. And when he went up against Yokozuna that next year, or the next WrestleMania, then I was like, now I believe it. The first one, 91 or the 93, did not buy that main event. Like, how is Yokozuna not just killing this fucking little
That's
dude?
2 years later. Dude.
So, but literally after that, he did it. So it's just one of those things where it's like certain people I would buy, certain people I didn't. Taker I bought instantly, and I feel like it's just because Hogan's selling. Like once again, Hogan
Yeah.
put it over like this is it because we've seen Hogan fight big guys.
And beat him.
Yeah, and he'd get busted up, but then guess what? You knew he was going to take out Earthquake
Right.
or Zeus or King Kong Bundy or Andre the Giant, like
Somebody-
the biggest guy.
Somebody kicking out of everything and not
Yeah.
Yeah,
not giving a fuck.
exactly. Seeing the fear on Hogan's face was another thing.
In kind of a backstage non-kayfabe part, it's like, Hogan had to know, like, obviously he had to agree to do that, but it's
Yeah.
like, he obviously had a lot of respect for this guy who'd just been in his company for like a year.
He's seen the potential.
Yeah, I think that's what it
When
was.
Hogan had already dominated for 5 years.
Right. Yeah.
exactly.
And I mean Hogan didn't have the creative control like he had later in WCW and everything. I mean, he still had his opinion and it meant something, but at the same time, he's seen money.
Yeah, and I think also too, we're getting close to where he's starting to wind down a little bit. I
Yeah.
think he's already had Taste of Hollywood a couple times. He's just like,
Yeah.
you know what? Interesting enough, and I'm gonna confirm with Joey here. I heard someone say that this was the last Survivor Series appearance from Hogan. Is that true? That seems crazy if it is. Like,
Absolutely.
I don't say I can't think of it. I mean, he would come back off and on, just never on Survivor Series. It's like so
was-
Taker not only beat him,
He beat him,
but ran him out of the Survivor Series
Yeah.
for good. So
My takeaway
That
from
was it.
this was WWF went from Warrior Hogan Savage, colorful giant, over the top like comic book characters,
superheroes in a way, yeah.
to this dark, still somewhat of a comic book if
Yeah.
you wanted to go that route.
It's got more edge to it than
A darker, less colorful, less a little slower moving, like
Apple
Jason
movie.
Voorhees
Absolutely.
horror movie, like
we just
killer.
mentioned the two storylines leading into this that weren't connected to this actual match. was Warrior being attacked by a cobra, you know, in a snake pit, and then them crashing a wedding with another snake, and it's just like, that's straight out of a horror film. Like, those are fucking, that's dark
So this
for 91.
Is like WWF's like TV-14, like
exactly, like, you know, we're not
before there were those ratings.
Exactly, yeah. This is them giving a little edge to the product. So,
yeah.
All right, so that's all we got right now, guys. Come back next week. What we got next week?
Oh man, we got this Tuesday. It's only a couple days away.
That's not bad. That's not bad
This
at all.
Tuesday in Texas.
This
We're going to
Tuesday in
Texas this Tuesday. You guys coming with us?
You better be here.
You guys going to Texas?
I got my boots.
All right,
what
cool,
we like.
man. I got my fucking mosquito spray.
All right, so
Wait, are mosquitoes bad in Texas?
I'm gonna assume
I got my rattlesnake spray.
that's what you need.
Fuck mosquitoes. I got my
I
rattlesnake.
sold him some rattlesnake spray. You bought it for $10.
I know. I'm gonna get my dick bit.
No, you're good, man.
All right, yeah.
If you want to get the super spray, it's gonna be $20, but we'll talk about that in Texas.
All right.
All right,
This Tuesday in Texas. I'm Simon Terrell.
I'm Joey Simpson.
Stash Man, we're out.